If you're thinking of moving to Montgomery County, Maryland, then this video is for you. My name is Eddie Brady with Showcase Real Estate here in Maryland, and if you haven't visited my channel before, I make videos like this every single week about living in Maryland. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button now so that you don't miss out on any of my upcoming videos. And with that, let's jump right into the top 5 pros and cons of living in Montgomery County, Maryland. The first pro of living in Montgomery County is the location. Located just outside of Washington, D.C., Montgomery County is smack dab in the middle of everything. And if you're commuting to D.C., this is the perfect location. Montgomery County has pretty much every major commuter route around. You have I-270, you have 495, you have the Inter-County Connector, so it's such a convenient location if you're a commuter or just want to be able to get to places fast without traffic. We'll touch on that later, but it's just an ideal location just outside of DC, and many of the people that live in Montgomery County work in DC. And that brings us to the second pro of living in Montgomery County, and that is the transportation. Pretty much anywhere you live in Montgomery County, you're going to have the option to have public transportation nearby. Whether that's a bus station or the MARC train or the Metro, you have so many options of commuting in and around Montgomery County. You have many options to get into Washington, D.C. You can take the MARC train or the Metro station all the way on down. So if you're living in Montgomery County, that's something that I always hear people talk about, is they live there because it's so easy to get to public transportation. They don't have to have a car if they don't want to. So this is a major pro of living in Montgomery County. And the third pro of living here is that there are a ton of things to do. And if you like the outdoors, you're in luck. There are so many outdoor activities that you can do in Montgomery County, and you really wouldn't expect it because of all the development, but there is a lot to do. So let's go over a few of them. There's Little Bennett Regional Park on the north side of Montgomery County, and I would say this is little known compared to the other parks in Montgomery County, but it has a ton to do. There are over 20 miles of hiking and mountain biking trails, and they've really put this location on the map for mountain biking. Over the past 5 years or so, they've really developed the trails, changed them completely to be more mountain bike friendly, to make them more fun for mountain bikers. So, you have the Frederick Watershed nearby, and you can go down to Patapsco, but this is the new location to go and mountain bike. So if you're into that, you're in luck. And just down the road from Little Bennett is Black Hills Regional Park, which is another great hiking and mountain biking destination with one huge added bonus, which is the lake that they have there. It is a massive lake that you can go kayaking in, stand-up paddleboarding, boating, fishing, and you can rent boats there in the summertime. It is a lot of fun. Kayaking in the middle of Montgomery County seems like something you wouldn't be able to do, but you absolutely can. And there's another place, if you really want to be adventurous, that you can kayak and hike, and that is Great Falls National Park. This is one of the most popular attractions in all of the DC metro area, and it's because there's a huge waterfall right on the Potomac River. There's a lot of crazy rock formations, and there's so much to do here. You have world champion whitewater kayakers that go down this run of Great Falls. It's crazy to watch. You can also go rock climbing there. You can take rock climbing classes. If you want to go hiking, there are all kinds of trails, and the Maryland side really beats out the Virginia side of the Potomac River here. You have the famous Billy Goat Trail on the Maryland side that you can hike. So just a ton to do here and a major attraction in Montgomery County. You have pretty much every chain restaurant and retail store that you could need right in Montgomery County, which is a huge reason why people move here. And that's the convenience of it all. Having all the stores, all the restaurants nearby, being able to Uber Eats anything you need is a reason why people live in Montgomery County. They work all day in DC or Montgomery County, and they want to come home and not have to go very far to get everything that they need. So it's a huge benefit. There's, literally everything here in Montgomery County. Other than the thousands of retail jobs at these stores and restaurants, there is a really strong market here because of Washington, D.C. You have a ton of government jobs, government contractor jobs, tech jobs. Every major industry is represented here in Montgomery County. So there is no shortage of jobs. In fact, there's probably a shortage of workers here in Montgomery County. So with that really strong labor market, that really strong job market, you also have all of these amenities that go along with it. But not everything is sunshine and rainbows in Montgomery County. There has to be some cons to living here. And that brings us into our first con of living in Montgomery County, which is the traffic. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is, what time, there is always traffic in Montgomery County. On the major highways like I-270, there is always an accident that's blocking up traffic or road work. I mean, Montgomery County is a really tough place to get around in a car, which is why a lot of the public transportation like the MARC train and the Metro are used so much, because driving in a car, frankly, is not fun here. There's just always congested roads anywhere you go, no matter what. And that brings us perfectly into our second con of living in Montgomery County, and that is the speed cameras. These are the most obnoxious things. If you're driving in Montgomery County, you have speed cameras everywhere. And they did a study and found that 1/3 of all speed cameras in the entire country are in Maryland. And of all of those cameras, the top 2 counties are Montgomery County and PG County. So Montgomery County has the most cameras in the nation. And that's not a good stat to be number 1 in. So it's really annoying. They make a ton of revenue off of it. That's why there's so much development, so much everything going on in the county, because they have a ton of revenue coming in. But driving here, you always have to be on the lookout for those cameras. So for those small moments that you don't have traffic and you pick up your speed a little bit, you're probably going to get caught with a camera. So it's another con of living here, and I know a lot of the residents are tired of it. And the third con to living in Montgomery County is the high cost of living. And that's a big complaint from the residents here, is that their housing cost keeps going up and up. That's because there's so much buyer demand here in Montgomery County and not enough inventory or supply on the market, so that naturally is driving prices up. And we have a saying here, the closer that you get to DC, the more expensive it gets. So anytime you're going closer, farther down I-270, as we say, the prices are going to go up and up and up. So if you want to be on the cheaper side of Montgomery County, you go to the northern side. If you want to be on the more expensive side, closer to DC, there you go. You go right down to Rockville, Bethesda, Silver Spring area, and that's where you're going to find those high prices. And another annoying thing that's part of the cost of living here is that in Montgomery County, they follow a state mandate to the T that's called the rain tax. And that's what we call it as citizens. They've renamed it ever since. But what this is that you get taxed on the amount of rain that your roof and driveway displace. So the bigger driveway, the bigger roof you have, the more tax you pay, because they say that it disrupts the rainfall and the runoff into the rivers and estuaries and into the Chesapeake Bay. But you end up paying a lot of money. I mean, some houses are paying thousands of dollars a year in rain tax just because of the size of their roof. Where if you go to counties like Frederick County, they charge you 1 penny a year in order to be in line with the state mandate. But in Montgomery County, they fully adopted this, and it makes it much more expensive to live here. And when you're shopping, they have a bag tax that most people would not know about until you get all the way to the register and you start filling up your bags, and it's 5 cents per bag at any store in all of Montgomery County. So this is a major complaint of the citizens that live in Montgomery County, is the cost of living here. And the fourth con to living in Montgomery County is the rapid development that's always going on all the time. They want to use every single bit of green space in Montgomery County that they can to build houses on. So other than the major parks, there is not a lot of open space that's left in Montgomery County anymore. Any bit that there is, they're trying to develop unless it's in agricultural reserve programs. So you're going to see rapid development. The farther you go down I-270 towards DC, the taller the buildings get. There is just so much development going on at all times in Montgomery County. So if you don't like that, this may not be the place for you. And the rapid development and less green space leads to the fifth con of living in Montgomery County, and that is the deer population. Yes, I know this is kind of a weird one, but it's a real problem in Montgomery County. There are so many accidents that are involving deer, and because there are not a lot of places that you can legally hunt them in Montgomery County, they just end up going everywhere. They're in every neighborhood, on the highways, on the roadways, and really it's because we overdeveloped the area. There was really nowhere for them to go, so naturally they're going to cross over the things that we built. But because of that, it's a problem. There's not really a great solution because you can't hunt safely in a lot of these places. So it is something that you have to think about when you're moving to Montgomery County. And another problem with the deer population is that they carry ticks, and a lot of those ticks carry diseases like Lyme. So that's a big problem here as well. You have to watch out when you're going into the woods, going hiking, mountain biking, all the outdoor activities that I've talked about. You have to be extra careful to check yourself for ticks because of the huge deer population. So that's all I got for you on the pros and cons of living in Montgomery County, Maryland. Let me know in the comments below what you think. If you live in Montgomery County, tell me the pros and cons. I would love to hear your opinion on it. And if you are thinking of moving in Montgomery County or to Montgomery County or anywhere in the state of Maryland, I would be happy to help you. My information is listed below. And you can also reach me on my Instagram at Eddie Brady Real Estate, and I would be happy to help you there as well. And as always, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe so that you stay up to date on all of my videos about living in Maryland.